This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to. Looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week.
Come on. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues... Be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key.
50 goes to the 120. Screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Throwing on third, gone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Watch out for Hill on the return. Oh, he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now.
Wrap it. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Come on, baby.
On the counter, it's Henry. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Derrick Henry. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Good break up, baby.
The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. Very, very strong. Well over 100 yards.
He should get the ball early and often here, too. I mean, when you're riding the performance of last week into this game, his confidence level has to be off the charts. Go ahead and keep feeding him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Right here. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. Hill shedding the tackle.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. Well, the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for him to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for him. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
On second and goal, Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
319. It's a party now. It's a party now. 56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, huh? Mike, 56.
Rodgers now on third and goal. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. Michael Thomas, his fourth touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Now a first down throw, gone. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And the numbers from a week ago for Jarvis Landry. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Mike Mitchell coming up from the secondary to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
7 yards there and a first down. From the 50, it's gone. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. They'll toss it to Miller. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Clemson, Trayvon Mullen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
One receiver right, that's Brown. Goff now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Here we go.
Goff now looking to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ryan Kerrigan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And now because of the sack, it's third and goal from the 14. Out of the gun, Goff. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that time.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Open man is Michael Thomas. 30. The 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 for the 22. Back to throw. Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Goff. This one hauled in by Sample. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again. Goff. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A Jet 1st down, 18 big yards that time. On 1st down, it's Miller. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Benardrick McKinney, a first-time Pro Bowler a season ago, in on the tackle there.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Goff on 3rd down. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Benardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. Oh, he shifts past him.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A first down carry for Henry. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check three. Check three. Check three. Jump out.
From the 35 on second down. Rodgers complete. Hunter Henry with the ground. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Mott's 56. Mott's 56. Here we go. Here we go. 56.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Definitely worth taking in our deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. Right there.
Rodgers again here on second and 10. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So this drive spans 7 plays, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He finds his target, John Brown. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. So far, been so good this season. Well on his way, as you see, to a 1,000-yard campaign. Is he almost having the type of year to where you say, let's let him get his and we'll control everything else?
That's one way to go about it. Personally, I go about it differently. I'm taking on the bully. I've got to, because he gives his team an identity and confidence. And if we slow him down, now guess what? Everyone starts looking at each other like, who's going to make a play? Because he's made all the plays so far. So I have to go get him first. Build my defenses towards shutting him down.
Good luck. I mean, not many teams have been able to do it. We'll see. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
It's going to be a long day.
Now Rodgers. And caught by Henry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a first down on a gain of 10. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. To try again after the sack. Rodgers, and he's going to go down again. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start in Nashville. Tampa Bay making the trip to Nissan Stadium to take on Tennessee. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. The Bucs looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, let's get to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they trail that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. A touchdown pass there for Derek Carr. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome Welcome, everyone, back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go, baby.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. He completes it to Henry. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Offside defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the 2nd level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
It's going to be a long day.
Rodgers now to throw. Gets this one to Hill. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. Flush to his right, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Alfred Blue. 99 yards. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Give him 30 yards there.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Henry. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it again with Henry. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll get this to Eckler. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Carry now for Derrick Henry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Derrick Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Draw play. This is Miller. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To throw is gone. And that will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for New York. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Hill on the return. Touchdown, Jaguars! Officially, that is a 99-yard punt return. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. What a risk he took, but it paid off. I mean, he took that punt from inside the 5 near the goal line, ran it all the way back.
And normal coaching says you let that one go. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, you let it hit and hopefully bounce into the end zone. But as you mentioned, he took a risk, and boy, did it pay off in a big way. I wonder if they let up a little bit going downfield, thinking that there was no way he was going to return that one.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And they open the lead up now to 25. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And New York sent to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Goff. He's got his man on the crossing route. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Let's go.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field, because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, it's gone. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Teron Johnson that time who had that play covered from the start. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run with Miller. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On 2nd and 9, Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. 10. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. Rosas good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field.
Here we go. 180. I got you. I got you.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Goff. And he's got his man, that's Landry. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Goff now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 23 yards on the play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing again is Goff. This will be caught inside the 10. That one goes for 30 yards. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Eli Rogers. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Now, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of...
It's caught at the 10. And he'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Goff now looking to throw. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there, first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Goff. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. But just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
53's the mic. 53.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Now on third down. That pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Defense wins championships, baby.
They'll run on first down. Henry. And he's got this down to the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run with Henry. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down, here's Henry. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Aldrick Rosas for the field goal attempt. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Jets. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Again, Goff. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Jacksonville, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.